organism population already done. Today we are supposed to do with the environmental issues, right? And after environmental issue, it's a very small topic, so we'll finish in the half of the class only. So what is the next one? Next one. Next one. Right. Transport in the plant in the next class. Yes. Yes. Transport in the plant. Yeah. So we have to start with the plant physiology. Right. Then we'll enter into plant physiology. I got it. So these are there are some environmental issues. Let's take a look on the environmental issues. So, are you aware with this electronic precipitators? Scrubbers and electronic precipitator. Do you have any idea? This is the first one. No? So, to control the air pollution, we are using the electronic precipitator. So, what exactly electronic precipitator are? Anyone of you have any idea regarding the electronic precipitator? Okay, so you people must have the idea regarding the this one. Air cleaner in cars, and even the room cleaner, room air fresheners, room air cleaner. You must have seen most of the car are coming nowadays. Most of the good cars, good car brand, they are coming with the this one electronic precipitator, means the air freshener or air cooler, air cleaner. I'm sorry, air cleaner or air filters. No idea.
No, sir.
After the class, go through with it. Today, nowadays, most of the car, like they are not a very premium one. The like small hatchback and all that, they are coming with the air cleaner, right? They have the air cleaning property, means they will clear if there is a dust inside the car. When you will switch on the AC, they will filter your air, they will purify your air, and air purifier are coming for the rooms as well, right? Nowadays they are very common, like a 5 day 5 year 4 year 5 year down the line, they were not that much popular, but nowadays they are very common, right? And the most of the car brand, they are coming with the air cleaner. So what is the air cleaner? They remove the polluted air, they remove the dust particle and all that, right? So air pollution, to control the air pollution, we uses two kind of the devices, right? What are those kind of the devices? First, they are the electronic precipitator. So this device is called electronic precipitator. This is called electronic precipitator. Electronic precipitator. In this electronic precipitator, what exactly they do? They purify the dust particle, right? Dust particle. So dust particle and some heavy particles. So what we call those dust particle or heavy particle? There are some cities or there are some places where the air pollution is not that much. Air pollution is there, but air pollution is not there because of the gases or because of the carbon dioxide or smoke. Air pollution is there because of dust. There are a number of the cities where the construction is going on, right? If you will go to the nearby area where mining is done, right? So mining area, you won't found there. Mining area are basically in the areas where there are a lush green forest and all that, right? There'll be interior areas, right? But on those places there will be lots of the dust pollution. Why? Because cutting of the mountain, because of the cutting of the excavation of the this one sand and all that, right? So those area are polluted because of the solid particle. So what we call them, those solid particle, what those dust particle which make the air pollute, they are called SPM, suspended particulate material, right? SPM, suspended particulate material. They do not settle down. They keep on suspending on the air. And when we inhale, they go inside our nose, right? So to purify these suspended particle material, what we do, we use a type of the device. That this device is called electronic precipitator. An electronic precipitator, the air enter from this end, and there are these kind of the plates. So and the lower plate is called collecting plate, right? And what happens, actually, these plate release some of the negative charges, right? These plate release the negative charges, and around the negative charges these dust particle get collected, right? And the dust particle become heavy and they settle down. Now the dust particle around the positive charge, negative charge, they are called corona, right? So these get collected, and after when they lots of the particle get collected, we remove them from the air, and from this end, the purify air passes through. Right. This is called scrubber. So scrubber are basically electronic precipitator are basically meant for the purifying the dust particle or suspended particulate material, SPM. Now the second one, this is called scrubber. This one. They are called scrubber. This is called scrubber. What happens in the scrubber? In a scrubber, the dry air enter from this point. Dry air enter from here, right? Dry air come from here. When dry air come from here, it goes upward, right? It goes upward, and what is done? Water and lime, right? Water plus lime is sprayed over here. When we spray water and lime, they purify the air, and the air purified air, it passes from there. So basically, this kind of the scriber are used for those factories, those devices which generate the polluted air. So these are the two devices. Hope this might be clear to all of you. Just for your information, this is not that much important for the your this is important for your NEET examination. What is the biomagnification? Any one of you can tell me?
As the amount of toxic material increases as we go above the trophic levels.
Very good, very good. One more thing which I want you to note it down in NCERT, there is a line that this is a question. So, Air Prevention and Control Pollution Act. Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act that came in India in 1981, right? 1981. This Air Pollution Control Act, right? And in 1987, that you need to remember. So within the in 1987, 1987, the noise have been included in the air pollution. So noise included in air pollution, right? Air pollution. So if anybody is using the high high decibel exhaust, or you must have seen there are the boys, they use the silencer, which silencer they create lots of the noise in the car and in the bike. So they get the challan, and the challan is made by the government on the basis of Air Prevention and Control Act 1986, right? So that you need to remember this here. Actually, this has been asked, that's why I am making you aware, right? So then come to the is there any more line? No. biomagnification. Biomagnification is nothing but look, accumulation of pollution, toxic material, or basically what are those toxic material? Those toxic material are the heavy metal. So accumulation of toxic material like these heavy metals more and more at every trophic level is called, every trophic level is called biomagnification, right? So this is called biomagnification. Look, this is the mercury polluted water at Bay of Minamata, right? So mercury polluted water get accumulated 0.1. Suppose that, okay, before going into that, I want to let you know a disease. This has been asked previously multiple times. It's an old question. I don't know like how important this is, but it has been asked number of the time. So there are very few chances, there are very least chances to ask these kind of the simple question or this kind of traditional question. But yes, we cannot deny, because in medical examination every question is not a tough question, right? 30% of the question you will get, they are very easy kind of the question, and anybody who have not prepared for the NEET but did the 12th class, he or she can attempt those 30% of the question. What that is the my perception. So those simple kind of the question are these. So actually in Japan, uh, it has been found, uh, once upon a time it has been found that in Japan, the number of the people died because of their damage of the brain, right? They become the mad and then they died, right? Now this was a very frequent phenomena. So when it became a frequent phenomena, so scientists and doctors, they started searching the reason behind it. So the people get fever, they become mad, and then they die, right? So when it was discovered, is what found, this disease was called Minamata disease, right? Minamata disease or Minamata disease, whatever you want to say, you can say. So this disease was uh, discovered in the Japan, and uh, what was the reason behind the disease? The reason behind the disease was mercury pollution, right? Hg pollution, mercury pollution, right? So mercury pollution, it damaged the human neural system, and because of, when it damaged the human neural system, because of that a person become mad, and after that it died, right? So how does this mercury pollution reached it to the human? The discovery started, and scientists and ecologists and the doctor, they started searching for it. Then what happened? It has been seen that there were the number of the factory. So what, there is a Bay of Minamata. So Bay of Minamata in Japan. In Bay of Minamata, so the mercury polluted water from the factories is basically dumped over here, right? So when the mercury polluted water, it used to be dumped into this bay. So suppose that the mercury pollution, the concentration of the mercury is 0.1 milligram per liter, right? Gradually they are leaving their mercury polluted water or heavy metal polluted water. So the concentration reached 0.1 mg. Then what happened? In Bay of Minamata, there were some algae, right? So those algae used to take the water from Bay of the Minamata. So the concentration of the mercury was increasing on the algae. So in the algae, the concentration of the mercury was 0.3 milligram per liter, right? Then what happened? This algae is being eaten by the fishes, right? So when this algae is being eaten by the fishes, the mercury concentration started increasing in the fishes. In the fishes, the mercury concentration increases 0.5 milligram per liter, right? Now the fishes are being eaten by the human, right? Large fishes. So in the large fishes, this was 0.7 gram per liter. It's not actual data. This is just imagination, right? Then the human attain it. When the human add it, then the mercury goes into the body of the human, and then it reaches through the blood. It reaches to the human nervous system, and then the people become mad and die. So this was the story behind the Minamata disease. So Minamata disease, you have to remember, Bay of the Minamata is in Japan, and the Minamata disease is caused by the mercury pollution, right? And what kind of this question even has been asked, what kind of the system it damages? It damages the central nervous system, right? Look, in this food chain, at every trophic level, the mercury amount is increasing. This process is called biomagnification. So biomagnification is the process in which the accumulation of toxic substance or heavy metal takes place more and more at every trophic level. This is called biomagnification. Is that clear to all of you? Safullah?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Riba, got it? So remember these facts which I told you. In India, two medicine. These are also the question. In India, two medicine have been banned in the long ago. So first, first is insecticide. This is the DDT, right? So DDT was insecticide. So DDT banned in India. It was insecticide used for the agriculture. And there is a one medicine, diclofenol. Diclofenol was painkiller which used to be given in the animal. Both have been banned in India. These both are the medicine are responsible for extinction of the vulture. Right, vulture used to be found abundantly in our country. So even I am the person who can say that the vultures are no more there. During my childhood, there were number of the trees and the number of the nest of the vulture. Now, hardly I see there is any tree where the vulture lives. Right. So, can you tell me why the vulture extinct or why they are endangered right now? They are about to extinct, and we are unable to save them. Why the vulture are vulnerable or they are endangered? Any one of you? Tell me, guys.
Maybe from those medicines, it was toxic to vultures.
But medicine, one is insecticide, another is given to animal. Both are not given to the vulture. Both are not meant for the vulture. Then what they have to do with the vulture? Look, so what happened? Uh, what vulture do? Vulture, what they have to do? That you need to understand. These are the questions. That's why I'm making you understand. Look, DDT is insecticide. DDT is used in the plant. So concentration of DDT increase in the plant. Plant are being eaten by bovines, means buffalo, ox, bull, and all that, right? So bovine, or we can say herbivore. This herbivore, so now the insecticide get accumulated in the body of the herbivore. Now this herbivore, after death, who eat it? Eaten by vulture. Now what happened when the insecticide reaches to the vulture body? The calcium metabolism get disturbed. When calcium metabolism get disturbed, then eggshell breaks easily. When eggshells break easily, no new vulture are added. The story ends here, right? So no new vultures are added in the population because no young one will take birth, right? So that's why the vulture population is reducing. The second thing is diclofenol. Again, the diclofenol was a painkiller, right? Diclofenol was given to the herbivores or bovine, right? These animals, right? Cow, ox, bull, and all that, right? Buffalo. Then they reaches to herbicide. They reaches to the bovine. Diclofenol. Diclofenol remains in the body of bovine. Then after their death, it is eaten by vulture, and again they disturb the calcium metabolism. That's how the population of the vulture uh, uh, decreased. And when scientists and government came to know, then the government have banned this both of the DDT and diclofenol. Is it clear? This is also example of biomagnification. So diclofenol or DDT are also the example of biomagnification. Is that clear? Hiba, did you got my point? Hiba, Ellen, Mamuna, Aksa, got it?
Yes, sir.
Good. So remember, do you want me to dictate anything or you will remember it? Shafullah, will you remember it or do you want me to dictate it?
No, sir.
Fine. Eutrophication. This is also very important topic for the NEET. So now tell me, what is the eutrophication? Eutrophication. No one? Eutrophication, algal bloom, BOD, DO. Mamuna, any idea? No? Look, please focus over here. Eutrophication and algal bloom. Both are the basically interconnected with each other, right? So what is happening? Nitrogenous waste material. So this is lake, right? Nitrogen rich water. What is the nitrogen rich water? When you clean any cloths with the washing machine, the soap which come out of your washing machine, when you bath, when you clean something, washing powder, washing cake, so all these have highly rich nitrogenous substances which come out of your washroom, right? The same come out of the building, same come out of the cities and then reaches to the lakes and the river, right? Then you use the food material. Food material is rich in the protein. It means it's rich in the nitrogenous substances. So those food material, they are also rich in the nitrogen substance. They reach it to the lake and all that. Then again, in the agriculture, we use heavy amount of the fertilizer. Fertilizer are the highly rich substance with the nitrogenous substances. The nitrogen rich substances from the field, agriculture field, they reaches to the lake, they reaches to the river, right? And that's what happened, right? So there are further, so these are the sources: nitrogen rich waste, uh, fertilizer, domestic waste, right? They all reaches to the lake and start getting accumulated in the lake, right? Due to what? Due to that nitrogenous substances, water become mineral rich. The get water, what is getting rich in the mineral? This is called eutrophication. Clear? So please note it down. Eutrophication is the process in which water become rich, process in which water become rich in mineral, mainly nitrogen and phosphate, mainly nitrogen and phosphate. The process is called eutrophication. Now what happened when the water become rich in the mineral? Eutrophication takes place. The algae which is found at the lake, at the top of the lake, the algae which is found at the top of the lake, it start multiplying rapidly, and it make a thick layer of algae, a sheet of algae. This is called algal bloom. Second point, note it down. Because of mineral rich water, algae multiply rapidly. Algae multiply rapidly and algae multiply rapidly and make a thick layer. Make a thick layer. This is called algal bloom. Full stop. Spirogyra, look, Spirogyra is the main algae which causes bloom. There are some other name of this Spirogyra. Can anybody tell me what is the name of other name of the Spirogyra? This is also known as, come on guys, this is Spirogyra. Spirogyra is also known as water cell. We call it water cell. Remember? Okay. Now what happened? The algal bloom is the second phenomenon. Third time, what happened? Normally the animals are living inside the lake. So what happened when the thick layer will be formed? Then the supply of the oxygen from the external environment will stop. So when supply of the oxygen will stop, then dissolved oxygen, that is called DO. DO is dissolved oxygen. Then dissolved oxygen will reduce inside, right? So dissolved oxygen will reduce, means supply reduce, means dissolved oxygen reduce. Now what will happen? These animal and the bacteria which are degrading these organic compounds, they will increase the demand of oxygen. Now the demand increase and supply decrease. So what will happen? Because of the scarcity of water, these animal will start dying. So increase in the demand of the oxygen is called BOD. Please note it down. Because of algal bloom, the supply of oxygen stop. Because of algal bloom, supply of oxygen stops. Which is known as, sorry, which decreases the DO, dissolved oxygen, which decreases the dissolved oxygen in water, in bracket DO, full stop, in the same line. The bacteria decomposing waste material, the bacteria decomposing the waste material and underlying animal will increase the demand of oxygen. That is called BOD. That is called BOD. Biological oxygen demand or biochemical oxygen demand. So I have a question. Which of the following water will have more BOD? Tell me, which of the following water will have more DOD? The water of lake, water of river, and water of a pond. Lake, river, pond, ocean. Where the BOD will be more? Come on, guys. Which one will have more organic matter? More waste material? Come on, Saifullah, tell me.
And the algae?
Which of the following? I said, which of the following will have more BOD? I have given you which of the following will have more BOD, right? I have given you option. Ocean, where the BOD will be more. Lake, river, pond. So which of the following will have more pollutant or more organic waste material? Come on, guys. Mamuna, Ellen, tell me. Aksa, which of the following will have more polluted water?
So pond.
Obviously, pond. Pond will have more polluted water. You know, come out of your home and roam around your city, you will find that pond. There are the number of the garbage have been dumped on the pond. So pond have more polluted water. Means the more polluted water will have more rich with the nutrient. Means there will be more algal bloom. Means there will be more BOD. Write it down. The water having more organic waste will have more nutrient, and you'll get these kind of the question. That's why I'm telling you. And will have more nutrient, and there will be more BOD. So polluted water will have more BOD. Less polluted water, less BOD. Is that clear or not? Tell me. Nobody is going to ask you what is the algal bloom and all that. Clear?
Yes, sir.
What is the greenhouse effect? Very simple. One more thing, there are certain aquatic weed which increases the BOD. So what is the name of those weed? I have already discussed that. Water hyacinth. Water hyacinth. Technically, it is known as Ecornia crispus. Ecornia crassipus. Ecornia crassipus, water hyacinth or Ecornia crassipus. This is the most problematic. This is the most problematic weed. It increases BOD. Increases BOD. Right. And it is responsible for death of underlying animal in lake. Write it down. Underlying animal in water. Right. And this Ecornia crispus or water hyacinth is also known as the terror of Bengal. This weed is known as, it's a weed, and this is known as terror of Bengal. Note it down. Got it? Now come to the greenhouse effect. Let me tell you what is the greenhouse effect. Actually, first let me tell you what are the greenhouses. So basically, the greenhouses are a type of the houses. They are made for growing the agriculture in the colder areas. So the areas which are being covered with the snow and ice throughout the year, so the vegetable cannot grow on those areas, because if the vegetable will be grow, there the water inside the vegetable will become ice crystal, and the plant will die. So that is called freeze fracturing. That will happen and the plant will die. So because the temperature is that much low, the temperature is never comes above the 0 degree centigrade. So in those area, the vegetable cannot grow. So to grow the vegetable on those areas, scientists have made these kind of the glass houses. So inside those glass houses, the temperature always remains approximately 25 degrees centigrade, 20 to 25 degrees centigrade, and you can grow vegetables easily over there. Outside temperature may be minus 30, minus 40, but inside temperature there will be 25 degrees centigrade, the best temperature for to grow the vegetable. So how these are the made? So these houses are called greenhouse. So look, what is the speciality of these houses? So basically, this is the house, right? So inside the house, you can see inside the house, the vegetables are grown, right? So that's what I told you. So they are meant for growing the vegetable. So to grow the vegetable, we make it, the lower side is made up of the soil part, and all the walls are made up of the special kind of the glass. When light comes inside, it get penetrated inside. After that, when light try to go outside, it cannot go outside. It start colliding with the walls, and it is reflected back in the wall. So the light comes inside when it try to go out. So there is no way to go out. So that's how when the light energy comes inside, it is trapped inside the house, and that's how it increases the temperature inside the house, right? And there is a thermoregulator, right? So there is a knob. This is thermoregulator. Thermoregulator. With the help of this thermoregulator, you can increase or decrease the temperature, or you can remove the extra temperature. So these kind of the houses are called greenhouse, and this effect is called greenhouse effect. Clear? Greenhouse effect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, how the greenhouse gases are working? So there are some greenhouse gases. So these are given in your NCRT. So the greenhouse gases responsible for global warming. Greenhouse gases responsible for global warming. So there is a one gas, like there is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is approximately 60%. The second one is methane. That is 20%. CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, 14%. And nitrogen dioxide, N2O, that is 6%. So this is the sequence of the greenhouse gases, right? So how does these greenhouse gases are responsible for global warming or increasing the temperature of the earth, right? How they increases, how they work, and why we call them greenhouse gases. Look, actually what happened, the carbon dioxide is very important, right? Carbon dioxide and greenhouse effect is very important. The carbon dioxide is working like a greenhouse effect, greenhouse gas, right? So we have a layer of carbon dioxide around our earth. So what carbon dioxide is doing, so when the light come inside, carbon dioxide, they penetrate to carbon dioxide layer, and it touches to the earth. After that, when it is reflected back in the form of the heat, the carbon dioxide layer do not allow to go outside. That's why the average temperature of the earth is, what is the average temperature of the earth? What is the average temperature of earth? Come on guys, tell me. Average temperature of the earth is 15 degrees. 15 degrees Celsius. This is the average temperature of the Earth. Clear? This is the average temperature of the Earth. Why? So if the carbon dioxide layer is not there around the Earth, what will happen? What happened with you today? Nobody is responding. Is there any problem?
No, sir, no problem.
So tell me, look, carbon dioxide is very beneficial for us. If the carbon dioxide is not there around the Earth, so all the water will get freeze. The temperature will go into the minus. The Earth, the average temperature, we would not be able to maintain the average temperature of 15 degrees centigrade. So it's very good. So you know that everything is good when it is at its optimum level. We are eating food, and whatever we are eating, if we are eating the good amount of the food, it is good. If we are eating the less amount of food, we will be hit by the malnutrition, right? We will become malnutrited, right? We will become weak. If you will eat too much, what will happen? You will become like balloon, right? So both are the very harmful. Less than that and more than that. The same thing is happening over here. Nowadays, because of the industrialization, because of the factory, because of the production, because of the development of the carbon dioxide concentration is increasing the very great amount. Because of that, the previously what used to happen, the light used to come, the heat is some of the part of the heat used to come back, and some of the part get radiated out. Nowadays, the carbon dioxide blanket become that much thick, it do not allow any heat to go outside. It reflects back all the heat. So what is happening? It is increasing the average temperature of the Earth. That is called the global warming. When the average temperature of the Earth is increasing, because of that, the iceberg are melting. If all the iceberg will melt, then what will happen? Are above the Earth, there will be 14-meter water layer above the Earth, above the land. If all the ice will melt, then all the Earth will get sink, and there will be 14-meter water above the Earth. Got my point? Did you got
Yes,
what is
sir.
the global warming?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so you have to remember the gases which are responsible for global warming and what is their composition. Right. One more gas, please add on. One more gas that is left, that is not given. Water vapor is also a greenhouse gas. Water vapor. It is also responsible for greenhouse effect. Okay. Now, what is the ozone depletion? Right. One more thing. What is the ozone depletion? Now, first thing, this carbon dioxide pollution is increasing. Now, along with that, there are some gases which are adding on ozone depletion. That is adding on the global warming. It is increasing more global warming. So, what is happening? Look, in this carbon dioxide blanket, above the carbon dioxide blanket, there is a layer of ozone, right? This ozone layer, the ozone is O3, right? The layer of ozone is thickness of ozone is measured in Dobson dB. Note it down. This is the question. It have been asked. Old question. The unit to measure the thickness of ozone is Dobson dB. Is Dobson dB. Right. Now, what is happening? What is the use of ozone? The use of ozone is that it is protecting us from the harmful ultraviolet rays. So, along with the radiation of the sun, or along with the radiation of the earth, or along with this sunlight, ultraviolet rays are coming, UV rays, right? So, UV rays, the harmful UV rays, they are filtered over here. So, function of ozone to filter the UV rays, right? So, this is a filter. It absorbs the harmful ultraviolet rays, and only the good one can come to the earth, and they are hardly affecting us, right? But because of the chlorofluorocarbon, CFC, this is the chlorofluorocarbon. CFC is coming out from the refrigerator, that is the cooling towers, right? And deodorants and all that, right? So CFC is filled in. Basically, it comes from the refrigerator and cold storage and cooling towers, right? So CFC is getting released. This CFC is chlorofluorocarbon. It is made up of a chlorine atom, a fluorine atom, and a carbon atom. So that's why it is called chlorofluorocarbon. Out of this chloride atom, which is the chloride atom, this chloride atom is highly energetic, right? This chloride atom, this chloride atom, it react with the ozone, it break down the ozone layer, and it is making the hole, due to which what is happening, the ultraviolet rays are coming inside, they are increasing more global warming, and they are this process of becoming the hole is called ozone depletion. Tell me, is it clear? Ozone depletion clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Chlorofluorocarbon, note it down. CFC is the major source. CFC is the major source behind ozone depletion. It comes out of it comes out of air conditioner, cooling tower. It comes out of air conditioner, cooling towers, and other equipments. Full stop. In CFC, chloride molecule in CFC, chloride molecule is highly energetic and reactive. In CFC, chloride molecule is highly energetic and reactive. Full stop. One CFC molecule can break 10,000. One CFC molecule can break 10,000 ozone molecule by chain reaction. And making a hole in ozone layer. The process is called ozone depletion. And it is increasing the global warming. Is that clear to all of you? Guys, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Some other topics, right? Small topics which are there in your chapter. So the first thing which I want to tell you, that is the ozone is found in stratosphere, right? If you want, please note it down. Ozone is found in stratosphere between 23 to 25 kilometer. Ozone is found in a stratosphere between 23 to 25 kilometer above the earth surface. Right? Write it down one more thing. What is the snow blindness? Snow blindness. Snow blindness. It is caused by ultraviolet. It is caused by ultraviolet B radiation, which comes out which comes out from ozone hole, right? So ozone depletion may causes this snow blindness. Got it? And ozone absorb this one. So for ozone depletion, right? So to protect the ozone depletion, there was a depletion. We started some conferences, and out of them, there was the first conference, and this was the Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol. So in Montreal city, there was a conference, and there was an agreement between different countries, and this is called Montreal Protocol. This Montreal Protocol, it was signed by different countries in Canada, a city of Canada, that is Montreal, and it was signed in 1987, right? Got it? And it was for the ozone depletion. Then in India, there was a movement, and that movement is called Chipko movement, right? Chipko movement. Chipko movement. Chipko movement was against deforestation, and this movement was started by uh, the local women, which were from the Garhwal, right? And people trying to when the people try to cut down the trees for the development, they just get a stick around the trunk of the tree, and they says that first cut down us, then cut the tree, right? So to protect the environment, to protect the trees, they started the Chipko movement, right? So, and the Chipko movement in India, it was made as a movement, right, by Mr. Sundarlal Bahuguna. Mr. Sundarlal Bahuguna. And this movement was started by women of Garhwal, Uttarakhand. That you need to remember, UK, Uttarakhand, right? State of Uttarakhand. And the movement was started in 1974. That also you need to remember. There is one more thing, Zoom cultivation. Does anybody know about the Zoom cultivation? Zoom cultivation was popular in the northeast part of India. Northeast part of India. It is banned now. Actually, you know what was the Zoom cultivation? It was a type of the deforestation. Deforestation. So in Zoom cultivation, actually what tribe used to do, they used to cut down all the trees, and after cutting all down the trees, they used to burn it, right? Either they cut down or they burn the forest. After burning the forest, what they used to do, they used to plow that land, and then used to grow the crops over there. When that land become unfertile, when they exhaust all the after 2, 3, or 4 years, when all the nutrient of that field is exhausted, then they used to leave that area and move to the new area, and again they cut down the forest. By this way, this was called Zoom cultivation. Due to Zoom cultivation, they used to cut down the trees, and nowadays Zoom cultivation is the ban, right? So remember the Zoom cultivation, it was popular to the northeast Indian part, and it was meant for the and it was a type of the deforestation practice. So everything is covered. I have covered all the things which are important for your NEET examination. So go through within your NCRT and ask me if you have any doubt. And let me know. Is that clear to everyone? What happened today? Many of the people are absent. Is there any something special? Tell me, guys. Saifullah, Hiba, Alan, Mamuna.
Yes, sir.
Go through with your NCRT, have a glance, and if you have any question, please ask me. When you will say all clear, then I will go and will move to the next 11th class syllabus. That is the right. We have covered all the important chapter, like excluding 2 or 3 chapter which were not important. Like in 11th, 12th class. Look, let me tell you. Today I have completed your reproduction in a sexual plant, like reproduction in organism, that was not important. There is sexual reproduction in flowering plant, human reproduction, and then principle of inheritance variation, molecular basis of inheritance, evolution, human health and disease, then biotechnology, both of the biotechnology, principle, biotechnology application, and organism and population, ecosystem, biodiversity, and environmental issue. So we have covered 11th class syllabus. We have just leave the 3 chapters, and those 3 chapters are meaningless, right? Questions are not coming from there, right? First chapter is very small one of 3 page only, reproduction in organism. The second, which we have avoided, that is strategies for enhancement of the food production. Even this is not a in the syllabus of CBSE board. And next, microbe in human welfare, right? So these 3 chapters which I have left, as we have covered all the 11th, 12th class syllabus. So is that clear, everything, whatever we discussed? Now we will move to the 11th class syllabus, and I am going to start with the plant physiology. Why I am going to start with the plant physiology? Because plant physiology have this small syllabus, and it is important. Chapters are few, less chapter than animal physiology, human physiology, but they have the equal weightage.
Sir, I guess we also left reproductive health.
Reproductive health, yes, reproductive health. In reproductive health, there are very hardly questions come, because we have to cover lots of the topic. Now the more important topic, so yes, we have left the reproductive health as well, right? In the last revision part, I'll tell you if there are some lines which are important. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Yes. In reproductive health, there is only one topic which we need to discuss: gift, and that is the uh, termination of pregnancy part. That's it. This is the important. Clear? Rest of the things are clear. Should we start with the next chapter? Tell me. Saifullah, Hiba, Alan,
Yes, sir, clear.
everything clear?
Yes, sir.
Great. Mamuna, all clear?
Yes, sir.
Hiba?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So now we are going to start with, now what you have to do, you have to revise all the 11th syllabus, right? Whatever we have discussed. You can ask me if you have any doubt, whatever we have covered, right? Now we are going to start with the plant physiology part. The first chapter was the transport in the plant, which I have discussed. come to the transport in the plant. Look, now in the transport of the plant, transport in the plant can be of two types: short distance and the long distance, right? So look, when we talk about the transport in the plant, the short distance transport takes place when some material, like either it may be food or it may be some water or something, some nutrient, right? So short distance movement takes place from one cell to another cell, right? This short distance transport takes place from one cell to another cell by the process of either by the process of diffusion, osmosis, or active transport, right? So when a substance is transferred from one to another cell, it may be any of these three: diffusion, osmosis, or active transport. We'll discuss all that. Now, what is the long distance transport? When the distance is more, right? There are some other means. So for the long distance transport, there are two things: xylem and phloem. Xylem are meant for transport of the water, right? So transport of the water from the root to the shoot. And the phloem, the transport of food takes place from leaves to the root, right? So phloem are meant for transport of the food, right? So phloem and xylem, they are, so xylem meant for water and mineral, and phloem for the organic substance, right? Okay. Now the transport can be, when we talk about the physiology, right? So in terms of physiology, transport can be of two types: active transport and passive transport. Active transport is that transport where the energy is required, right? Energy is required. Here, the movement of substance takes place from higher to lower or lower to higher concentration. Tell me. Normally, movement of substance takes place from higher to lower or lower to higher. At least tell me this one.
Higher to lower.
Higher to lower, right? Normally, when transport takes place, the substance moves from higher to lower. But in active transport, the substance start moving from lower to higher concentration. So they move against what? They move uphill movement. This is called uphill movement. So for uphill movement, when certain substance are more in the inside the plant, and even plant want to take it more, then it have to go for the active transport. So can you tell me what is the thing? What are those substances which are more inside the plant and they are less inside the or in the soil? What are those substances whose concentration is more on in the soil and less, more in the plant and less in the soil? Minerals. The concentration of the mineral is more inside the cell of the plant and less outside the soil. So these minerals will not move inside the plant root by simple diffusion. So what will happen? Plant want to take, in spite of having more concentration inside the cell, plant want to take it more from the soil. So plant have to go for active transport. So plant will go for the active transport. It will spend the energy and take those substance from the outside. The second kind of the transport is passive transport. In the passive transport, this takes place through the simple process, that is diffusion process, right? So the transport of substance takes place from lower concentration, from higher concentration transport of substance takes place from higher concentration to lower concentration in the direction of diffusion gradient, right? Direction of diffusion gradient from higher to lower concentration. there is no ATP is required, right? It may be of two types: simple diffusion or facilitated diffusion. In simple diffusion, the simply molecule will pass, and in facilitated diffusion, there will require a protein, right? Is that clear? If you want, take the screenshot. That is up to you.
Sir, can you scroll a little bit? Yes, sir.
Okay. Come to here. Look. Now, here with the help of this diagram, I have tried to show the active and passive transport. Look, this is the passive transport and this is the active transport. Passive transport, I have told you, it may be two types: simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Look, if the substance are lipid soluble, means the substance are hydrophobic, right? Lipid soluble substances are transferred simply by the diffusion with simply through the lipid bilayer, right? This question have been asked, right? So lipid soluble, please note it down. Lipid soluble substances, lipid or fat soluble substances pass through lipid or fat soluble substances pass through the bilayer of lipid. Through passive transport. Look, now those substances which are not lipid or fat soluble, those which are water soluble, they are called hydrophilic substances, right? So water soluble or hydrophilic substances, they passes through these proteins, right? These proteins, when these proteins passes through these proteins, so this is the gateway of protein, or we can say they are the channel of protein, right? When it passes through this channel, then it is called facilitated diffusion. In facilitated diffusion, there are two kind of the protein channels, right? So look, these are the channel. They are just open channel, and water or water soluble substance can come through these channels. These are called aquapore, right? So note it down. The water soluble substances, the water soluble substances can diffuse through membrane, can diffuse through membrane with the help of protein gateway. These are the gate which are made up of protein. Protein gateway. Full stop. If they come directly, these gateway are called channel. It is written over here. If they come directly, these gateway are called channel. For example, the water channel are called aquaporin. This question have been asked. The water channel are called aquaporin. I have written over it, aquaporin. There are 8 type of aquaporin. Even this question have been asked. There are 8 type of aquaporin. Next. And here, these proteins, sometimes they require this kind of the protein. These proteins are called carrier protein. So this carrier protein will pick from outside and they will put inside, right? So look, you all are school going children, right? You all are school going children. So what happened? So when school bus comes and you want to go to school, the uh, older one, like those children which are from the class fourth, fifth, third, fourth, fifth, and all that, they can go inside the bus, right, from higher concentration to lower concentration. More students are there, they go inside the bus without any help. So the gate of the bus can be called what? Aquaporin, right? What you are, water soluble substances, right? And that gate of the bus is called channel. Now what happened? The bus is coming for the small kids, which are 2 year, 3 year older or 4 year older. Those kids cannot ride on the bus itself because they are very teeny. So what happened? School provide assistant or a helper that is standing on the gate. What that helper, it pick the bag of that kid and it hold the hand of the kid and it help the kid to board on the bus. So actually now that gate is called carrier protein. That is that person, that helper person, that is the carrier protein. It is not taking the money. It is just helping those kids to come inside. And they are passive, right? They are not taking the money, right? They are the passive kind of the people, right? So that is also passive diffusion. But there is a protein which is called carrier protein. So did you got the difference between the channel and carrier protein? Both are the gateway. Both do not require
Yes, sir.
energy. Got it? Hiba? Ellen?
Yes, sir.
So now in active transport, this kind of the active transport, again for the active transport, there are some protein. These intrinsic proteins are called pump, right? These proteins are called pump, right? And these pump, they require ATP. So please note down. In active transport, the protein channels, in active transport, the protein channels which are required in active transport, the protein channels which are required are called pump. Are called pump. Full stop. At the expense of ATP, at the expense of ATP, they changes their shape. At the expense of ATP, they changes their shape and allow the movement against concentration gradient. So these are the carrier protein, right? Carrier protein can be of three types. Now try to understand. Carrier protein can be of three types. It is important.
So what does it allow?
And it allow the movement of substance against concentration gradient, because that is active transport against concentration gradient, that is uphill. If you have a bicycle, you have to go uphill, definitely you require the energy. If you are coming the downhill, you need not to pedal the bicycle, you know well, right? Now the carrier protein can be of three types, right? So carrier, the transport through carrier protein can be of two types: uniport and co-transport, right? So in uniport, the movement of single substance will take place in one time, right? Either inside or outside. The movement of single substance takes place through the carrier protein, right? Then the co-transport, in co-transport, two substances will move simultaneously. In co-transport, the two are either two ion or two molecule will move simultaneously. That is called co-transport. Co-transport, these are the questions they have been asked. Co-transport can be if the co-transport is in the same direction, both of the substance, both of the ions are moving in the same direction. This is called symport. If one is moving inside and another is going outside, means if both of the substance moving in opposite direction, they are called antiport, right? So sodium, this question have been asked in medical examination. Please mind it. Sodium and fructose transport takes place through symport. Note it down, guys. I am telling again, this question have been asked multiple times. Sodium and fructose have been asked. Sodium have been asked separately. Sodium and fructose is transported and through symport. And sodium and potassium pump is example of antiport. Tell me, is that clear or not? Take the screenshot. Is that clear? Uniport, symport, antiport. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, what is the osmosis? Look. This is a semi-permeable membrane. Between two chambers, there is a membrane that is called semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane, or it is called differentially permeable membrane. It allow the passage of certain kind of the substances through it. So basically, it allow only the movement of water through it, because water molecules are very teeny, very small, and not the larger molecule like substance, like sugar, right? So here, this is the pure water, and here this is the solution, which is the sugar solution, right? So larger sugar molecule and sucrose molecule, and this is the water, right? So what will happen? There is a semi-permeable membrane. First exchange will take place in the both direction. So water molecule will start moving from its higher concentration toward the lower concentration. Look, in the solution, the amount of the water is less, but in the pure water, amount of the water is more. So water molecule will start moving from lower concentration toward the higher concentration. So when the movement of water molecule takes place from its low concentration of solution to higher concentration of the solution, this is called, when we talk about the solution, the movement of water molecule will take place from low concentration solution to higher concentration solution. This is called osmosis, right? Now, the low concentrated solution are called hypotonic solution, and the higher concentration called hypertonic solution. So we can say in osmosis, the movement of water takes place from hypotonic solution to the hypertonic solution, or concentration of the water is higher here, the pure water, concentration of the water is less in the solution water. So we can say the movement of water takes place from its higher concentration to lower concentration is called solution. Both are the same definition, but these are the three ways to explain the osmosis. The question will be on the basis of these 3 points only, right? So please take the screenshot and note it down. What is the osmosis? And tell me, is it clear or not? Saifullah, clear? Hiba and Ellen, clear?
Yes, sir.
Hiba,
Yes, sir.
Ellen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So that's it for the today, right? And after the class, you have to go through with the complete 12th class